Hey girl, I just need to share this with you because yoga has completely changed my way of seeing things, and I think it could do the same for you. I used to think yoga was just about flexibility and breathing, something trendy to do to stay fit. But the deeper I go into it, the more I realize that yoga is really about connecting with yourself, and through that, understanding the world around you in a completely new way. It sounds intense, but it's actually one of the most beautiful and grounding experiences I've ever had. Let me start with how it helps you get in touch with yourself, because that's the core of it. You know how crazy life can get with work, relationships, all the endless to-dos? Yoga gives me the space to just be. When I'm on the mat, it's like everything else fades, and I get to focus on my breathing, my body, my mind. There's this incredible sense of being present, something we don't always experience because we're so caught up in what happened yesterday or what's coming tomorrow. Yoga forces me to check in with myself, to notice how I'm feeling, both physically and emotionally. Am I holding on to stress? Am I feeling tense or anxious? Through movement and breath, I find myself letting go of things I didn't even realize I was carrying. And here's the magical part: the more I understand myself, the more I understand the world around me. Yoga teaches you about patience and acceptance. You learn to embrace your limits on some days and push through on others, just like in life. And that translates to how I interact with others. It's like yoga has taught me to see people with more empathy and understanding. When I recognize my own imperfections and accept them, it becomes easier to accept the flaws and struggles of others. It's funny because yoga is such a personal journey, but it opens your eyes to the bigger picture too. Think about it. Every time you're breathing deeply, grounding yourself in a pose, you're connecting to this ancient practice that people have been doing for thousands of years. There's something profound about that, right? It makes me feel like a tiny part of this huge, interconnected world. And the world itself becomes more fascinating because of that. Yoga has taught me that every single thing, no matter how small, is connected. The way I see it, when you understand your own body and mind, you naturally start to appreciate everything around you more. I found myself being more aware, noticing little things I would have overlooked before. It's like I'm more in tune with nature and the world. You know those days when we just walk around without paying much attention to the trees, the sky, the sounds? Now, I actually notice them. Yoga sharpens that awareness, that presence in each moment. And let's talk about the mind-body connection. Yoga isn't just about doing a split or a perfect pose. It's about feeling every movement, recognizing what your body needs and what it can do today. It's taught me to listen to my body's signals instead of just pushing through discomfort or ignoring signs of stress. This kind of awareness makes you feel more grounded and secure, even when life gets chaotic. Yoga has become this safe space for me, a time where I can let go of judgments, release negativity, and just focus on what's happening right then and there. I honestly think that everyone has a different journey with yoga, and that's the beauty of it. It's a personal practice, and there's no right way to do it. Some days I'm fully in the zone, feeling strong and balanced, and other days I'm stumbling through poses. But it's all part of the process, you know? Every practice is an opportunity to learn something about yourself, to explore your own inner world, and by extension, the outer world. So, why am I telling you all this? Because I genuinely believe it's something you'd love, and I think it could bring you the same kind of clarity and peace it's brought me. I know it sounds like I'm hyping it up, but once you start, you'll understand why. It's so much more than an exercise. It's a way to connect to yourself and everything around you in a way that feels truly fulfilling. Imagine being able to just pause even on the most chaotic days and feel completely connected to yourself. That's what yoga has given me. It's like a little gift every time I roll out my mat. And the best part, it doesn't require any special skills or experience. You don't have to be flexible. You don't have to be strong. You just have to be open. Open to exploring, to accepting, discovering yourself on a deeper level. So, when are we starting? I'd love for us to do this together. I feel like it's something that'll bring us even closer, and we can go on this journey side by side, cheering each other on. Just imagine the conversations we'll have after a class, talking about what we felt, what we learned, and how it's shifting our perspective. It's truly life-changing, and I'm so excited to share it with you. Of course, there's this idea that yoga is all about being flexible or achieving some perfectly balanced pose. But the truth is, that's not even close to the heart of it. It's less about what your body can do, and more about the journey of self-awareness, one tiny step at a time. And that journey, it's a mix of self-compassion, discovery, and yes, even challenge. Because every time I step onto the mat, I realize there's something new to learn, and a lot of the time it's not physical. It's emotional, mental, and even spiritual in ways I never expected. One of the things I've really come to love is how yoga encourages you to be present without judgment. You know how hard we can be on ourselves, right? We're our own worst critics half the time. But yoga creates this space where I can just observe what's going on with me without trying to fix it or make it go away. On days when I feel frustrated, tired, or not at my best, it's like yoga reminds me, it's okay. This is where you're at, and that's enough. There's no push to be perfect, just this quiet encouragement to show up as you are. And that's such a relief. The beauty of this practice is that it makes you realize how interconnected everything is. As you learn to tune into yourself, you become more sensitive to the world around you. I've started to notice the way my energy affects others and vice versa. It's almost as if yoga is teaching me to recognize the silent language of body and breath, which is something we share with every living thing. And that, to me, is profound. It's like we're all just little pieces of this massive, interconnected puzzle. One of the best lessons yoga has taught me is the importance of balance, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally too. When you're holding a pose, it's not just about muscle strength, it's about finding that delicate balance between effort and ease. And I think that's such a great metaphor for life. I'm learning to find balance in other areas, to know when to push forward and when to let go, and that has made everything feel more manageable. It's like yoga has given me this internal compass for finding balance in my relationships, my work, and even my dreams. You know that feeling when everything's going at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and you're just trying to keep up. Yoga has this way of slowing things down, of creating this little bubble where everything is calm and intentional. It's like a reset button, reminding me of what really matters. It's funny, but I've even started appreciating the challenges in life more because through yoga I've learned that growth often comes through discomfort. So, instead of avoiding those tough moments, I feel like I'm more willing to face them, knowing they'll help me grow. Another thing I've discovered is that yoga actually inspires this sense of gratitude in me. It sounds so simple, but just being on the mat, being able to move, breathe, and feel alive, it's like this gentle reminder of how much I have to be thankful for. Even on days when I'm not feeling my best, I find myself grateful for the ability to be present, to experience each breath, each sensation. That gratitude spills over into my daily life, making everything a little brighter and a little more meaningful. And honestly, yoga has taught me patience. Some poses take weeks, months, or even years to master, and the same goes for certain mental and emotional breakthroughs. There's no rush in yoga, no end goal. Instead, it's about embracing where you are at each step of the way. And that mindset has been so freeing. Instead of stressing over what I should achieve or who I should be, I'm learning to value where I am now and trust that I'm exactly where I need to be. I think about the way yoga helps me connect with myself, and I can't help but feel like it's made me a better friend too. When I'm grounded and centered, I feel I can show up more fully for the people in my life. I'm more present, more patient, and more understanding. Yoga has taught me that just like I'm working through my own challenges, everyone else is too. That reminder helps me be kinder and more empathetic, which I think is one of the greatest gifts yoga has given me. I know we've talked about finding balance and understanding ourselves better, but yoga goes even beyond that. It's like this lifelong journey where each practice, each breath, and each quiet moment on the mat brings you closer to a deeper sense of purpose. It's helped me realize that every moment, every interaction, and every feeling has its place in the grand scheme of things. Life can be so full of distractions, but yoga brings everything back to simplicity, to the beauty of being alive and fully present. So here's my thought. Let's do this together. Let's make yoga part of our lives and see where it takes us. I feel like this journey could open up so many new perspectives, and I'd love to experience it with you. Imagine being able to support each other, to talk through what we're learning, and to grow together. It feels like such a special opportunity, and I really believe it's something that could change both our lives for the better. Because at the end of the day, yoga isn't just a practice. It's a way of life, a way of seeing yourself, and a way of understanding the world. And I couldn't be more excited to dive deeper into it, with you right by my side. There's something truly magical about having yoga as a constant in life. It's like this comforting reminder that no matter what's happening outside, The stress, the chaos, the ups and downs, there's always this space of peace we can come back to. Yoga has this way of bringing out the best version of ourselves, the one that's calm, focused, and compassionate. And what I love the most is that it keeps evolving with us. No matter where you are in life or what you're going through, yoga meets you there. It's like this steady friend who's there through everything, grounding and guiding you. One thing that's been a huge revelation for me is how much yoga has taught me about intuition. It's like the more I get in tune with my breath and my body, the more I feel connected to this inner voice, this sense of knowing what I need. It's as if yoga helps me strip away all the noise and expectations and tune into what feels true for me. And in a world where we're constantly bombarded with advice, opinions, and pressures, having that connection to my own inner guidance has been life-changing. It's made me more confident in my decisions and more peaceful in the process. You know what else is amazing? How yoga has shifted my relationship with goals. Before, I was all about hitting targets, reaching milestones, and always aiming for what's next. But yoga taught me the art of presence, the idea that the journey itself is as valuable as any destination. It's helped me see progress in a different light, where each small step, each day on the mat, is something to celebrate. And this doesn't just apply to yoga. I find myself embracing this mindset in everything I do, appreciating the journey in relationships, in work, and even in personal growth. It's like I'm learning to savor each moment rather than rushing to the finish line. I feel like yoga teaches us that life isn't about perfection, but about progress. Every pose, every breath is an opportunity to learn and grow. Some days my balance is off, or I'm not as flexible as I want to be, but I've learned to let go of that self-criticism and just appreciate the process. It's a reminder that we don't have to be perfect. We just have to show up. And that lesson has seeped into all areas of my life, making me so much kinder to myself and more patient with my own journey. And here's something I didn't expect: yoga has opened up this new sense of curiosity in me. I find myself exploring different aspects of the practice. Different poses, breathing techniques, meditation styles, and each one teaches me something new about myself. This curiosity spills over into my daily life too. I'm more open to trying new things, meeting new people, and stepping out of my comfort zone because I've realized that growth comes from exploring the unknown. Yoga has taught me to see life as this big, beautiful journey filled with endless opportunities to learn. The practice has even deepened my appreciation for silence and stillness. In a world that's always on the go, filled with notifications and distractions, yoga creates this sacred space for quiet. At first, I found the stillness a little unsettling. Like, shouldn't I be doing something? But over time, I've come to love those moments of calm, where I can just breathe and be. It's like I'm giving myself permission to pause, to rest, and to recharge. And the impact of this quiet time is profound. It helps me enter each day with a clearer mind and a more open heart, ready to take on whatever comes my way. Something else I've discovered through yoga is the importance of self-care. It's funny, because I always thought self-care was about bubble baths and spa days. But yoga has shown me that it's so much deeper. Self-care is about listening to what you need, honoring your limits, and nurturing your well-being on all levels. It's about showing up for yourself in a way that's compassionate and kind, even on the hard days. This practice has taught me that taking care of myself isn't selfish. It's necessary. And by filling my own cup, I'm able to show up more fully for others too. It's hard to explain just how profound this journey has been, but I genuinely feel like yoga has given me this whole new lens for seeing life. It's taught me that everything is connected, that our thoughts, our actions, our relationships, and even the world around us are all intertwined in this delicate balance. And through understanding myself, I feel like I'm beginning to understand the world on a deeper level. Yoga has shown me that life is full of beauty, growth, and endless potential if we just take the time to be present and open to it. So, here's the thing: I want this for you too. I want you to experience the clarity, peace, and connection that yoga has brought me. It's not about mastering any pose or reaching any specific goal. It's about finding that connection within yourself and feeling at home in your own skin. It's about realizing that you are enough, just as you are, and that every day is an opportunity to connect more deeply with yourself and the world around you. Imagine us both on this journey, growing together, supporting each other, and discovering new layers of ourselves. I feel like yoga could be something so special for both of us, a way to stay grounded, connected, and inspired no matter what life throws our way. So what do you say? Let's do this together. Let's explore, learn, and grow side by side with open hearts and open minds. I truly believe that yoga has the power to change our lives, one breath, one pose, and one moment of presence at a time.